Hey there guys, Tim here from Candid Tech TV. So today we are taking a look at this RCA projector. The specific model number is the RPJ116-B-Plus. So this is a very common and popular projector people got from Walmart. It's also sold on Amazon as well. But there's also an RPJ116 model, which they look definitely different. The other one has a little bit more of like a ribbed look to it. This one here has more of a flat look and profile on the sides and back and stuff like that. So this one looks a little bit more modern. So this is a entry-level projector. This is going to be 480p native resolution. A lot of these type of projectors say that they're 1080p compatible, which really means nothing. That's one of my biggest pet peeves is a lot of these listings, if you look around, they say that they're 1080p projectors, and in reality they're 480p or 720p or something lesser than that. But they put on there basically it's going to downscale 1080p to 480p. So whatever the native resolution is, that's what you guys got to pay attention to. So this is a 480p native resolution. It's 800 by 480p. So it's going to be a budget entry-level projector. So if you have your expectations tempered and you know what you're going to get with this, it's a good entry-level projector. So we're going to take a look at whether this could possibly be a good projector for you here. We're going to show you some footage. We're going to go over some of the physical features of it, and that's coming up right now. So guys, taking a look at the actual projector here, you can see on the top part you've got your little button layout there, and then here's the RCA branding also on the top. Your focus wheel, keystone wheel, is going to be up at the top there as well to dial in your picture. Down here on the bottom you've actually got this little screw here, so that will help you tilt the picture if you need to, depending on what type of surface you've got this on. It'll let you angle it up a little bit higher at the wall, and then you can use your keystone to correct the tilt on the actual wall if needed. So that will go in and out. You got an IR sensor on the front and on the back here, so that's good because that remote will be able to reach both from there and there. And then right here you've got some of the speakers, so backward facing right there. That's where the internal sound is going to come from. And on the side here, you've got a microphone jack right there, so you can hook a speaker up, AV port, TF card or micro SD card slot, HDMI, USB, and then your VGA right there. And then right here is where you have the fan on the side. Taking a closer look up at the top again there, that's where you've got, so yeah, focus wheel you can see here on the top, and then keystone wheels, that little bottom one there. And then as far as the buttons here, you've got your power button, your source button, and then you've got, your menu button on the left there and all that kind of stuff. And then you got your OK menu and arrows. So taking a look here, you can see the RPJ116-B-Plus is what this model number is, and that is listed right there. And then right here you've got the thread for a tripod actually right there in the center. I like that it's located in the center because a lot of times it isn't. So as far as weight distribution, that's a lot better. Sometimes these will have the mounts for like a mounting bracket underneath these little silicone feet on here. So I like that they have these because it definitely helps with the support and putting this on like a table or whatever else and making it non-slip. But on this version, these actually do not, as you can kind of see here, do not actually have any mounting holes in the bottom there. So we'll just put that back on there. So as far as mounting, probably tripod's going to be your best bet. So right here is your DC in port. So that's where you're going to put your power cable to actually power on the device. And that's going to be included with the projector. And then just taking a look at the actual size of the projector and everything here, you can see just kind of hand size comparison, and it's very portable. It's a nice small size. You can take it with you, throw it in a backpack. It's easy to move around the house. So what we're going to take a look at next here, guys, is the actual quality of the projector footage. So I'm going to show you a few different shots, show you navigation kind of on like a Roku screen, a little bit through Netflix, show you some stock footage, and then stay tuned because I'm going to show you some close-ups and show you the actual up-close footage and really how much pixelation you're going to get with this type of projector at the 480p footage. So guys, here we go. This is all 1080p source footage. This is from D and Nick Nimmin's Free Stock Vids channel on YouTube. So this is, like I said, source 1080p. Obviously this projector, since it's 480p, it's going to kind of downscale that. So what we're actually seeing is going to be the 800 by 480p. And this is in a dark environment. The lights are out. It's nighttime. Blinds are shut. So this is going to be basically best case scenario for this projector and the footage you're seeing here. But you're going to see, some different brightness levels and things like that here, some kind of action shots and things like that. But I honestly think that 480p, most people don't realize how good quality it can be. Obviously, it's not going to compare to like your 720p, 1080p. But at this price point and things like that, if you're going to be watching video and, watching Netflix, watching some movies, maybe playing some games on it or something like that, then you can, definitely use this for things like that. It's very serviceable for that type of stuff. If you're using it for text and PowerPoint or navigating websites, Word documents, stuff like that, that's where you're going to notice kind of some loss in the quality in the text. And I'm going to show you here right after this. I'll show you kind of what it looks like looking at a Netflix menu and some things like that to actually show you text. But the 480p, when you've got it farther away like this, when you're 8.5, 9 feet away, you're not really noticing a whole lot of distortion and kind of lack of the quality. But as you get a little closer up, and I'll show you zoomed in here, it's definitely noticeable. There's some cross-hatching on the screen and stuff like that. But as far as these shots, I think these look pretty darn good. Alright, so like I promised, here's a Netflix. So I just want to show you, going through the Netflix menu, looking at the thumbnails, looking at the descriptions, kind of what you can expect. So you can see here up top, you actually can read those descriptions pretty well. All the text on here and everything is definitely visible. Although, it's not the most crisp, it's not going to be like 1080p footage. But you can see the colors, you can see the video previews here and everything. Looks pretty good, and you're going to be able to see the descriptions on the thumbnails. You can see good enough and be able to read everything. I'll show you close up here in a second some of the thumbnails and some of the text in that and kind of what it looks like if you actually look up close. But this is definitely serviceable. Looks pretty good for Netflix. And just in case you want to see, here's going back out to that Roku main menu, and you can kind of see what navigation on a screen like that would look like. But again, you can definitely read all these thumbnails. I'm not having any problems with that at all, so not too bad. Alright, but let's be realistic. It's not all sunshine and rainbows, though. You can kind of see here, when I zoom in, and this is a lot closer of a shot, you can kind of see some of the clarity that you're missing out on here with this 480p projector. So zoomed in, you can see definitely a little bit more pixelated. Things aren't quite as sharp. Again, you don't really notice this quite as much when you're zoomed out. So when I zoom back out here, it looks a lot better. But definitely when you get up close, when you're looking at the actual quality, there is some lack of clarity in this 480p model. And here's a little closer up just to show you. That's the actual pixels you can see on the wall there. And just to show you, I'll put my hand up here, and that will give you an idea of the actual size of the pixelation that you're seeing. So you can kind of see there the individual pixels, and so that's what you're going to get with the 480p. Things are going to be a little bit more pixelated and not quite as sharp as the higher level projectors like a 720p or 1080p. And so again, just to actually hammer that point home, here is on YouTube, kind of panning across here, kind of the up close text and thumbnails. You can kind of see the clarity you're going to get there. You can see the text isn't completely sharp, but again, you can actually read it when you're further away. And then you can see, really zoom in here just to, hammer that point home again. You can see as I zoom in on here, looking at the numbers and the timestamp and just the clarity in general of the text and everything. Definitely not the best for text and for PowerPoints and that kind of stuff. So for videos, pretty good, but this kind of stuff, you might want to have another option. And while we're on the subject of YouTube here, I'm going to show you a YouTube video real quick here, and I'm going to let you hear some of the audio quality coming right from the projector. So I got my microphone set up about a few feet away, and this is going to show you some of the actual quality coming straight from the internal speakers of the projector itself. I'd always hook up an external speaker, but just so you know, here it is. So today what we're taking a look at is some of the stills and photo quality samples from this Sony RX100, the first version. So in 2019 here, this can be had for about $200 to $250 if you're looking around. And then I'm going to show you here, this is some of the footage from my last video where I did some camera stills examples from the Sony RX100. So these are all like 1080p 20 megapixel pictures that we're looking at, like that I made a slideshow with, and you can kind of see here just kind of how that's going to look. But again, in person this looked pretty decent actually. I was kind of impressed with how it looked for being 480p from 10 feet away watching this. So I'm going to also put the light on here in a second just to show you. Again, this is all in darkness, blinds are drawn, it's nighttime. There's no other real ambient light in the room at all. I really like that shot. That one looked cool with the butterfly. But yeah, so when you're in this environment, this is your best case scenario. Here is with the light on, and this light is behind me in the kitchen area. So it's about 15 feet away from the actual screen, but it lights up the room pretty good. And this is a good example of kind of what you can expect with having the picture get washed out a little bit. So not the best. It's going to be even probably more intense if you had, like, say, windows open during the daytime. And, you could definitely use it like this a little bit, but you can see how the quality is going to go downhill a little bit once you have any light in the room. And here's another shot just so you get an appreciation of kind of my setup. So you can see the hallway and the door there for perspective. There's a little desk underneath this screen here, but again, this is a 100-inch diagonal screen. So this is a pretty big picture, and again, this is with the lights on and kind of what you're going to see. So if I turn the lights off here, as you're going to see, that's the difference, from a bit further perspective. So definitely a lot sharper with those lights off. And if you're curious for how big really a 100-inch diagonal screen is, here's me for some comparison. So I'm about 5'9", 5'10", and you can kind of see here the size of the actual screen, so pretty big. All right, guys, and here's just a little test of the actual fan noise. So I'm going to put this right up close to it and show you kind of how loud that sounds. All right, so again, that's just a couple inches away from it. Right now I'm about 4.5, 5 feet away, and I'm just out of focus behind the camera here. So this is going to be some just ambient fan noise in the room from about 5 feet away, and we'll see if you can hear it here. So now let me show you with this actually turned off, if we hit the switch here and turn it off, just what it sounds like with no fan noise. Alright guys, so when it comes down to it, is this projector worth it? I think so. I think at this point in time you can find this also for probably pretty good value. Like I said, I got this online for about $35. That was without having the remote with it, but you can definitely find this for $50 or less probably without a problem. It seemed like this was a very popular model sold on Walmart. I saw a lot of people reselling these and things like that, so you could probably find a good deal on it. It does just as well as a lot of the other 480p projectors that I've reviewed in the past. So a lot of those brand new are going for $80, some of them up to $100 at the high end. So I don't think that, you can really go wrong with this. It's going to do pretty well with video and your casual video watching and streaming habits. For, gaming and things like that, you're probably going to want something that's a little bit more clear and probably a little bit better, like response time and all that kind of stuff. But for things like, classroom use and using this for text and things like that too, this is not going to be the projector for that. Really, you got to really get up to the 720p at least to be able to use it for, Word documents and and PowerPoint, stuff like that. 1080p is really ideal for that. So this isn't going to do well with that, but if you just want something for casual, a little bit of gaming and, watching some movies and maybe outdoor movie night and set up a projector screen, then by all means, this is going to be a great projector for you. So I'll put a link down there below in the description where you can check this out. And that'll be an affiliate link, so that'll help out my channel a little bit if you use that, so I'd appreciate it. But I have a whole budget projector playlist you'll see popping up here, so if you're interested in a projector, I've reviewed a bunch of them, so check those videos out. And I'd love for you guys to subscribe if you like tech reviews. I do them weekly on this channel here at Candid Tech TV. Thanks for watching with me this long, guys, and you guys take care.